Adelaide is a multicultural city in South Australia. There is a large population of Chinese people living in Adelaide, and besides the presence of the people, the writing system that they use is commonly visible in areas of high Chinese influence such as our Chinatown.
Chinatown is a small area consisting of a pedestrian mall with gates at both entrances, and extends to many businesses nearby. These characters are typically used in dining establishments, assorted goods shops, and quite prominently in banks. Chinese characters may also be used by businesses of non-Chinese countries. Other Asian countries, such as Japan, use complex traditional versions of characters, and consequently much of the written component of the language can be comprehended by an educated reader. Although some businesses now use simplified versions of characters for advertising, the traditional form is still commonly used, which may maximize efforts to communicate. Recognizing a character is easier if you are familiar with an exemplar set of characters. There are characters that look very similar but have different meanings. A computer font can give a good example of the way characters are presented, but certain characters have differences in appearance depending on which font is used. Different groups of people learn to draw the characters in a certain manner. These peculiarities add to the difficulty of understanding the handwriting of an individual. Many businesses will also provide an English translation of their Chinese writing. In some cases, information is omitted, and in some cases, extra information is supplied for someone not familiar with the culture behind the goods or services. In some translations, the English into which the Chinese is translated can be amusing, and these cases are affectionately termed Chinglish. Each character has a pronunciation that corresponds with a syllable of the spoken language. Besides some characters that are pictographs or ideographs, there are characters with more than one component. In some characters, the component that lends meaning to the character is known as the radical, and the other component may give a clue as to the pronunciation of that character. There are many thousands of Chinese characters. To understand a current Chinese newspaper, a reader needs to know at least 4,000 characters. Language is a living medium, and the meanings of characters has changed over time and been different geographically. Certainly the practice of simplification that began in the middle of last century will help to standardize the language for future learners.
Chinese characters are examples of a culture that has persisted for many thousands of years. Even though they may seem complex and difficult to understand, the pursuit of communication with other cultures is a worthy goal and a challenge that we should not shy away from.